every household will have a child called Kirufo.
Okay.
Kirufo. Like his Kirufo is my son.
Okay.
My elder sister was Kirufo. And my younger sister was also Kirufo.
Yes.
Yeah. So the name runs from the 1700s.
My gosh.
Yeah.
But you say it has a link to, it's written in Greek and all of that.
Yeah, Kirufes.
How does your people connect with this other nation?
We came from a place called Napta. Napta, next to the Nuba Mountains in the Sudan, which was the heartland of ancient Ethiopia. And that's why the people from that area came to be known as Nubians. And those are the people who created ancient Ethiopian civilization. And the ancient Ethiopians or Nubians created the Egyptian civilization.
Got you.
But, from that area, other Nubians went to West Africa, others to East Africa, others to the south. And that's why you would find empires like Mongale, Munomuki, Mwanamutapa, Angola, Benin, Zanj on the coast. All these kingdoms were, and the Kantasis of ancient Ethiopia, all these kingdoms actually came out of ancient Ethiopia. And these were the custodians of ancient African civilizations. So the Egyptians are descendants of indigenous Africans who originated at the source of the Nile.
Yeah, we're talking serious income.
Okay, family. So what I want to talk about today is misconceptions because of translation and historical doctrines passed down because of colonization. So family, I'm gonna skip this commercial and I'll be right back with you. Okay, here we go.
But you see, from the time of Abraham, who was a colonialist.
Pause. So remember, he said Abraham was a colonist. Abraham, they say, was a colonist. Listen.
You have the people called the Hyksos, who are the forebears of the Jews.
Okay, he said the Hyksos, who are the forebearers of the Jews. Listen.
And then you have the Libyans of Sheshonq. Then you have the Persians. You have the Greeks, the Romans, the Arabs. All these.
Okay, he said he named all these people. Listen.
People colonized Egypt.
So he said that they colonized Egypt. Okay, looking at the appearance of the people today, one would come to the notion to believe that this is what it is because you're not seeing nobody that look like you. Let us go on.
That's why the population of Egypt became so mixed.
So he said that's why the population became so mixed. Listen.
Today, you won't even recognize that those people are indigenous Africans.
Okay, so trying to figure out how these people are indigenous African, you see, because they don't look like the people that was already there. So we see an issue going on. Listen.
And they are called Copts or Coptic people.
Yeah.
And people don't even ask themselves the root of the word Copt because it's Kapta.
Okay. Oh.
So listen, now let me dispel a lot of stuff. There was something else he's going to say. He's going to say something else, and I want y'all to listen to what else he's going to say. This is what happens when you don't no longer speak your own language. This is what happened, and I want to show you something else he's saying. So listen, family.
From where they're from.
Yeah, in Greek, kapta is Coptis. I was telling you that we originally.
Now listen, the Greeks did not originate from the place what they call Africa, or even the place that they call Middle East. But let him listen to him. He's going to say something very important, and I want to show you in the scripture how to understand this part right here, what he finna bring out.
Originated in Napta. The word Napta, Kapta, and even the word Egypt derives from Ha Kapta, the land of God Ptah. And the name Ethiopia, it comes from Atape. But if you say Tape or Tapa, if you reverse Pa and Ta, then you have Ptah. And there's an Ethiopian pharaoh, Sabaka, who discovered an old document called the Memphite stone. That stone later came to be named after him as Sabaka stone. That stone today you find it in the British Museum.
Yeah.
Okay, so it is in the British Museum. Listen to what he said. He said the stone that he called the Kata stone is in the British Museum. In the British Museum, not in Abraham Descendants Museum, but in the British Museum. Listen close.
That is the oldest document.
So the Britain has the oldest document. It didn't say our people have the oldest document and locked up inside of their storehouses, but it says Britain has it.
Which talks about the origins of the world.
So Britain has it inside of their storage place, which talks about the origins of the world. So who robbed who? Who colonizing? A colonizer robbed you of your cultural things. Listen to this.
How everything was created. But that document was published in 716 BC.
716 BC. So let's listen.
But what happens is they write the Bible later, ignore that story of creation.
So what he's saying is they wrote the Bible later. They did not write the Bible later. They translated scrolls later. But listen.
And they put the story of Adam, who is physically created by God.
According to the story.
According to their story.
Yeah.
And then from there, that God takes a rib out of this Adam and create a woman.
Listen.
Which is all nonsense.
So he said it's nonsense. I'll be back to what he's speaking about, family. But let me drop out of this. That's why we got to be careful what we're listening to, because sometimes it'll cause doubt to spring inside our heart, and we won't believe what the scriptures say no more. Now, this right here is the word that they use for rib in the scripture. This is the word that they call rib in the scripture. Listen what I say. They call rib in the scripture. But let us look at this. A feminine noun, and it's tazalai, and they say with their unification and everything on it, with the Nakud and all that, with colonism marks and stuff on there to change it from what it really was. And I'll show you in the scripture, Yahweh willing. But listen to this.
Strong's H, 6763. Selah.
Again.
Strong's H, 6763. Selah. Selah.
Okay. I know y'all heard something else in the scripture say Selah, Selah, when Dawad wrote down in the Psalms, but that's not what this is. Now I want y'all to see this right here. Side, chambers, or cells of temple structure. Hamashiach said that your body is the temple. Dawad said in the scripture something about your body. King Dawad said that. But look at this. Side chambers, temple structure. So what this is implicating is that Chawa was made in the same structure, of the temple that Elohim had formed when he created Adam. When he formed Adam from the earth, from the Adawam. Because when a woman passed, if she go to sleep, just like the male, if he passed to go to sleep, they all go back to the dust. That's why you can't just say I have a funeral for the Ayash and not have a funeral for Asha if both of them go to sleeping in their grave. So let's look here. And if you want to understand this word is only used like this in one time out the whole Bible. One time is this word only used like this right here. Only one time. But they choose to use it like this. Look. So let me look it up right here for you so you can see what I mean. Let me go back. All right. So let's look up rib. All right. So now let's go into the lexicon and let's go to exact match. Rib. All right. You see this word right here, rib? Only one time in this scripture here. This word right here. So let's click on this word. Like I got into it before. Now look. Chamber, 11 times. Boards, 2 times. Corner. So the majority rules out, right? So let's see here. That's the same word, Tasalai, masculine, and it's in 1 Kings. But when you saw it with the translator, it said it only matches in Barashayath when Chawa was created. Side. Here it go again, side. And they put rib. Only one time in out the whole Bible, they chose to translate you at the discretion of the translator. One time throughout the whole Bible, they chose to translate this as a rib. But tazah means something connected to something. Tazah, understanding the letter, tazah, and then you go to Exodus. That same word is used in Exodus right here. And thou shalt make bars of chittim wood, 5 for boards in the one side of the tabernacle. You see right here in Ezekiel, same thing. Construct. And there was a narrow window. And so when he say he formed Chawa out of the construct of Adam. He didn't create Chawa as what that thing is that be on the movie that fly with the little wings on it. What they call it? What that little cartoon on Disney? What they call that? Little fairy. No, he didn't create Chawa as no fairy. How can Adam and Chawa reproduce Kwayan and Habal if Chawa was a fairy? Because the biggest you could get out of a rib is not going to even maximize the size of Adam. So out of the structure, the construct with the word this word derived from, tazala, tazalai. That's what the word mean, out of the structural build of Adam. So he gave her arms, legs, a head. He gave her a body. Because if you have two different things, so if you have can an ox and a sheep give birth to the original ox and original sheep? So he made one to he Adam didn't have a suitable helpmate. If so, Yahweh didn't give Adam somebody that's big as a little ant on an ant mound. Even that word right here is used in the book of Ayawab. What scholars say is older than Barashayath, possibly. His strength shall be hunger bit, and the structure shall be ready at the side. All right, at the side. So that word can mean side, bar, side structure, Jeremiah. And I'm gonna prove it to you. It can mean side structure. Look, fam, side beam, like of a building, side of man. When you say tazah means that you on the side of somebody. Tazah mean I'm on your side. I'm on your side. Tazah, but he didn't create a he didn't create just a letter and say, here you go, Adam, make seed bear. Here's a religion, here's a word, Tazah, and I'm not gonna give you nobody to put by your side, Adam. I'm not going to give you a woman to put by your side, Adam. What I'm going to give you is words only, even though I know that I was going to tell Yakanan in the new covenant, in the renewed covenant, that if your brother, if you have the poor man and the rich man, and you tell the poor to sit at your footstool only with word service, even though I'm going to tell you that it's against my rules to just give people word service and not love them for real. Adam, let me tell you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to give you some saying. Now, make babies without a wife. Make babies without a woman. No, that's not what he did. Rib, heel, ridge. Look, side chambers. The word tazah means side. Let me see if I can copy the word tazah. Let me see if I can copy tazah. So we can see that tazah means side. All right. So let's go. Let's see if I can get tazah by itself. And look, this is not salah. This word makes the sound tazah. This one makes the sound la. And the root word for this is tazah, means side. The root word for this one is lamad. It means the lamad is a staff. Ayana is an eye. Ayana. So you don't hear that sound in this at all.
Strong's H 6763. Selah. Selah.
So you don't hear tazah. You don't hear none of that in there. But the root meaning of tazah is side. All right, side. La, the staff. Ayan. All right, he made Chawa to be a helpmate unto him. Has anybody ever told you go and be full and they didn't help you? Yahweh didn't make for Adam a wickedness. He didn't make for Adam just somebody say go and be happy, go and be merry. No, he made for Adam a Shah, someone who's able to bear seed for Adam, to help him, Adam, to bear seed. Aman? Let me see. So let me look up and see if I can find that word tazah. So I have a Hebrew dictionary, a Hebrew letter dictionary, mashpaka. Let me move this off of the film. I have a Hebrew dictionary. Let's go to I'm gonna go into my books. I'm gonna share a file with y'all. Hold on. All right. All right, let me go see my downloads. I know I got it. So projects. Let's go to music. No, it's not in the pictures. There it go. Books. All right. So go here. And then I have Hebrew alphabet, Phoenician language. I have the dictionary somewhere here. All right. Make sure it's the right one. No, that's not it. Well, let me just share this with you real quick. We're going to look up colonists, and then I find that letter for you, family. It's easy to find online, but I find it for you. So right here, a colonist. As you see, this is in a Webster Dictionary. It's a synonym, okay? A member or inhabitant of a colony. Jamestown, Plymouth, colonist. This is what a colonizer is: a person who migrates to and settles in a foreign area as part of a colony. A person who migrates, so that's an immigrant, a person who immigrates to and settle in a foreign part of a colony. So Abraham was not a colonist. Abraham purchased land. Abraham purchased land, even though Yahweh had told Sham, Ham, and Yapath, that's a book that moved out the Bible to bring even more confusion, in the book of Jubilees. And I don't know if they done switched it up and flipped it here and there, but there's a passage in there that said Sham, Ham, Yapath had drawn lots. There was a lot that fell on Sham, there was a lot that fell on Ham, and there was a lot that fell on Yapath. The lot of Sham was the land where Canaan was living at. The lot of Ham was where he didn't want to live at. And some say that the lot of Ham was in sub-Saharan Africa on the left side of the Ethiopian Ocean. Now, the reason why I say Ethiopian Ocean, there's a strong possibility is because Quanan transgressed, and his whole existence, even to this day, would be that he would serve all his brethren, not that he be RAPE all across the Sahara and everywhere. That's why you read inside of Ta'alayam, Psalms chapter 83, that Canaan and them got together and raised up a conspiracy of the people who were living in their own land of inheritance. Now you have Yapath, who is living in the land of Sham's inheritance, as it is written in Barashayath chapter 9. But you see here colonialists, even Hamashayak, whom many make their boast in, said that the Gawayan, that the God shall trodden down Yerushalayim until their time is fulfilled. But let's look. Colonist and colonizer both have meanings closely tied to the word colonism. So they saying that Abraham was a colonist. Abraham did not colonize nothing. What Abraham did is move by the Rawak and went to the land of inheritance that was also promised to Sham. So there's different narratives of this historical document, but if you read it for what it say, it says what it say. People of or area, colonists, they treated us like we ain't had no language, which comes directly from the noun colony. Is the more common and usual, more natural term colonizer, which comes from the verb colonize, is used especially that where we get the word in Gullah, vulture, that you is a vulture, a culture vulture. How can you coach a vulture your own self? Abraham, the Shemitic people did not leave the nation of Yapath. The children of Yapath left. They went up north, but Sham and Ham was in a specific area in the middle of the east. But Alahayim had caused a divide at the Tower of Babel, so they went to their own land of inheritance. But what Canaan did is he wanted to go and live in somebody else's inheritance. Did we forget the commandment after Nach, Sham, Ham, and Yapath got off of the ship? Everybody else did what they were supposed to do. So we had wars and fights with people over what's ours. Now, if Ham's children is still living in the middle of the east, along with everybody else, and as it is recorded in the scripture in Deborah chapter 28, that it will be Sham's descendants through the lineage of Ya'aquabah who will be dispersed into all the nations of the earth. Either we're going to believe the prophets or we not. Some people migrate to America. Some people migrated to the islands. There were some people, people that was hired from Ophir, be overseers over the plantation. But the ones that was colonized, the ones that was enslaved, is the ones that was taken as property after 70 AD. Now, they didn't come. How come all of the tribe? How come they didn't just go through Africa and just snatching up everybody that they see? They had a mandate. That's why what they did is they come and started snatching up everybody of a specific genealogy. They didn't come just snatching up Cush and Mizraim and everybody. They came snatching up who they wanted to come and snatch. And you see what book they use to colonize those people. They did not use no Egyptian stuff to colonize them. They did not use no European books to colonize them. They used their own books to colonize them. Okay, they used the history of the land to colonize the people. Just like in America, they paid $5 to become a native of America. So let's look here. There's nothing new done under the sun. Hebrew meaning. Here. Just like I want to show y'all about when they say the other day about having ashy skin. They put cha. So you're gonna always run it. Hold on, let me see if I can find tazah, because they put cha, and that's not the word I was looking for. So let me look it up like this. Tazad meaning. I don't know why it clicked inside of them. I wasn't asking for that. Let me see. Go to images. Tazad. So let me go into the images and I'll share it with you, Mashbakal, Yahweh willing. Let me see. All right. Here we go. So let me click inside of there. Zadokapp.com. Okay. Start journey. Okay, they don't have it online where you can search words, I don't think. But let's go. Let me see something ain't right. If y'all not seeing what I'm doing. Okay. Let me go back to images, Hebrew words. Okay. All right. So now let me come inside of here, which I'll come back to the screen. And let me see if I can share it with you. And I'm finna share this and I'm finna get up out of here, fam. All right. Biblical Hebrew word revealed to Christians. All right. They say to Christian. Okay. Nach. Let's see. All right. So let's look for the word tazah. If they had the ancient one up here, then I can tell. So Abagada Ha Wa Za Ha. I don't know if that's it. Tazah, right here. They didn't put the translation of it. Let's see. I didn't have my dictionary pulled up, so I wasn't able to pull up the word for you, but I'm trying to find the word for you. All right. This is what you call colonism, fam. When you looking for something of your origin and you can't find it no more, and the only thing you see is everybody is somebody, but you ain't nobody because you ain't supposed to be nothing but a slave. Look at what they put for real. It's only one place in the whole scripture they put that for real. So that show you colonization, fam. That word is not used one time in no scripture. That word is used dozens of times in the scripture. So as you can see, they put, this is what colonism is. They put that word as if it is the only time it was ever used in the whole scripture. But that word was used more than one time in the scripture. All right. So I probably can do it like this. Let me do it like this. All right. Let me see. I don't have it like that either. Let me see. Trying to find that word. Well, let me look it up like this. Ancient Hebrew. Hebrew. There you go. There you go. All right, share this one instead. Okay, you could donate to these to the family over here, because you ain't gonna find it like you want to in other stuff, family. So I'm finna look up Tazah with people that's trying to be honest. Let's look up Tazah right here. Not trying to colonize, but trying to be honest. Look at this right here. This is Tazah. And let's see the meaning of it. Tazah, man, or on his side, snare, tail. So this, the root word for this is Tazah, means side, fam. As you can see, Tazah, side. And I want y'all to download the Zadok app so that y'all can see it for yourself. I gave y'all more than one witness that this word means side. It does not just appear in the scripture only one time. And this is the dictionary, what I go through sometimes and I look through. And this is let me see if I can share this with you so that you can go and support what they're doing on their website. And let me go back over here, share this one with y'all. And I'm finna get up out of here, fam. But I had to come on here and do that because that was bothering me years ago and I never got to it. So I thought that it would be sufficient for me to go on here today and show y'all the reason why it's a lot of problems when you're trying to find information. And a lot of us may feel discouraged sometimes and teach in a certain way. And I'm not trying to knock at the brother that said the stuff that he said. I'm just letting you know, fam, that's not how, that's not what that means. Abraham was not a colonizer. Abraham, what they would call, is a native of the place where he was. Everybody should have a place where they could call home. Abraham was not the only father in the scripture. He's not the father in the scripture where everything that he is and has is he ain't got nothing. Everything just belong to everybody else, and they supposed to walk around like Quanan was. That's probably why they called us Quayan. That's probably why they called us Canaan or Cain, because they turned and flipped it up and they made the real inhabitants and the real rulers of that part of the earth the vagabonds. They come and take it over, and that's what colonizers do. They make the real inhabitants of a place, the actual people who's supposed to be in control of it, the vagabonds, just like they did to the natives that was already over here in America and in the islands. That's what they did to the Taino. You welcome, elder. That's what they did to the Taino. They came and they made the people of those lands the vagabonds, the people that ain't supposed to never have nothing. And so we got to get this in our mind, when an ant, they call the European in their language, the ant, they call that a colony. Why do they call the ant mound a colony? Because an ant come and he build up something and probably build it up right in the middle of your yard, right in front of your tent. And but mainly ants is, yes, sir. Okay, elder. But I dropped the link for you, elder, if you want to come up. Mainly answers, it take answers a little bit. They ain't gonna just build it in 1 second. So if you see an ant got something somewhere, that you move somewhere else. That's what colonizers do. Colonizers see somebody got a structure built up, they want it out the way, they do something to the ant mile, they move it. And that's what a colonizer is. A colonizer is not the answers that's already been there for thousands of years. That's not the colonizer. The colonizer is another creature that come in and try to move the ants out. Where can the ants live at? An ant is like a sojourning creature. It travel here to there. But you have creatures that's in one place. You see what I'm saying? Now, the scripture called the nations of the north that came to colonize the continent. The scripture called them locusts. But instead of the locusts being cast out, they cast out the people of the land. Instead of the locusts being told, look, y'all got to keep the laws of the land, the locusts came in and say, no, y'all got to keep the laws of our land. And that's why when you read inside of the scripture and you read in Maccabees chapter 1 and 2, you read about a colonizer. That is a colonizer. Alexander the Greece, he's a colonizer who's really inhabitant was at Rome, but he came down there to Greece. Why did Rome have him in prison? So we got to be careful and look into what we believing in before we just go off with different things, because fam, sometimes when people take away from you, take away from who you is, it'll cause you to go inside of a place of confusion And that's what it's meant for. It's meant to cause you to be confused. I'm going to share one more thing with you before I go, Mashpaka. I dropped the link for you, Elder, if you want to come up. I'm going to share one more thing with you, Mashpaka, and it's from the other day. It's showing you about the people that live in that Arabian desert over there. Listen at the original founder of the desert over there in Arabia. Listen at the original founder, and let's see if he matches a colonizer. Listen to him. Awarya Shahar, my skin black. That's what Ayawab said. And like I showed y'all before, all you got to do is go inside of the scripture. Look up Job chapter 30. Go inside of your lexicon and go to verse 30. And you will see it say, my skin is black. I guarantee you. I want you to be surprised, just like you go outside to go and find gold, just like you searching the ground for silver and precious stuff. Look that up. I guarantee you, it say, my flesh is black. That's what he said. Awar ya shahar. And the other word that I was showing y'all the other day, awar. Awar is not Iwar. Awar, Iwar. We had a real language. We wasn't swinging on no tree. Shalawam, Akhwatia, Ismalaka Ariyah to the remnant. We weren't swinging on no tree. Mashbaka. We weren't running around across Africa naked. We had kingdoms. And a colonizer came and took our kingdom. And now we is the Abad of the nations. We are not no Canaan of the nation. And I got to show you that, Mashbaka. I got to show you that before I go, because people love to say that we Quran. I don't hate Quran. We don't hate Quran. But people say that to dismiss what we saying. And we're not no Quran. So let me look up Quran, what Quran did before I get up out of here. We're going to look up what Quran did in the scripture. So let's first go to Barashayah chapter 9. Before I get up out of here, go to Barashayah chapter 9. Let me share it on the screen for you, Mashbaka. So Barashayah chapter 9. This is Nach. This is his last will and testament and his blessing on his children. So we're going down. Barashayah chapter 9. And verse 8. Let's start at verse 8. Matter of fact, verse 7. And you, be ye fruitful and multiply, bring forth abundantly in the earth, and multiply therein. And Allahayim spake unto Nach and to his sons with him, saying, and I, behold, I establish my covenant with you, and with your seed after you, and with every living creature that is with you, of the fowl of the of the cattle, and of every beast of the earth. That's why when they label us as beasts, Adam is given authority over the beasts, and that's why they tried to treat us like we was 3/5 of a human, so that they can rule over us with impunity according to their doctrine. Now let's go to the sons of Nach, the sons of Nach that went forth out of the ark was Shem, Sham, Ham, Wayapath. It wasn't just Sham, it wasn't just Ham and Yapath, and everybody else just believe in this as a religion. Sham, Ham, Wayapath, not the religion of Ham, not the religion of Sham, not the religion Yapath. They don't have no religion called Sham unless they colonizers. Sham, Ham, Wayapath. And Ham is the father of Canaan. Ham meaning hot. He lived in the hot places of the earth. Ham, the father of Canaan. Ham, the father of Canaan. Canaan is not the father of Nach. Nach is not the father of Canaan. Why did it point out that Nach is not the father of Canaan? because of what Ham did. Sham did not do that. Ham did it. So how come they don't have all of the Hamitic people in captivity? If they don't believe, but they saying that you is Canaan Negro. But I'm finna show you that Canaan and all of the other nations had a conspiracy against you. These are the three sons of Nach. They wanted to make you the slaves of everybody else. Canaan. And all of the people that joined forces with him. So who was ruling in the land that was taken down? Was it Canaan ruling? Or was it Yasharal? These are the three sons of Nach. And of them was the whole earth all overspread. Nach, Sham, and Canaan's curse. Listen at this. Sham and Canaan's curse. This is what the translator wanted you to see. Sham wa Hanan curse. And Nach began to be an husbandman. Nach began to be a farmer. And he planted a great vineyard. He planted a vineyard. And he drank of the wine and was drunken. The wine had the mother on it. So Nach got drunk. And he was uncovered within his tent. And he was uncovered within his tent. How do you uncover your father's skirt? And Ham, the father of Canaan. So if he uncovered Nach, how did Nach have a baby with his son Ham? That's not how Canaan came. The scripture just said that Ham is the father of Canaan. So he did not uncover Nach per se. He uncovered his wife's skirt. And Ham, the father of Canaan, saw the nakedness of his father. What is the nakedness of his father? His mother. And told his brethren without. He told his brethren without that I'm going to have a baby with mama. Mama pregnant. I laid with mama. And Sham and Japheth took a garment. Did they slay Canaan? Did they do any of that? Did they ship Canaan across the four corners of the earth as slave and make him bed wenches and bucks? No. Japheth took a garment and laid it upon their shoulders and went backward. This was an honorable thing that they did. And covered the nakedness of their father. They covered their mama. They covered their mama's nakedness. And their faces were backward. And saw that not that their father was naked. Saw their father's nakedness. So they didn't want to see their mama like that. So they covered their mama up. And Nach awoke from his wine. So Nach was drunk and knew what his younger son had done unto him. So Nach woke from his wine because Nach got drunk. And when Nach was drunk, Ham went in there and laid down with his mama. And when Nach woke up from his wine, when Nach woke up out of his drunkenness, probably had a hangover, because that's what happened when you get drunk, and knew what his younger son had done unto him. And he said, Cursed be Canaan, a servant of servants shall he be unto his brethren. Not because anything else. And Sham blessed Nach. So they said the Hamite curse. That is a falsality. That's not true. That's not in the Bible. Nach did not curse all of Ham's children. He cursed Canaan because of how Canaan came in the earth. He could have slew Canaan. I don't know. He ain't abort Canaan. He didn't tell his wife to abort Canaan, even though his son had violated him sleeping with his wife. He didn't abort Canaan. Look at this. Nach did not abort Canaan. And his mother's name is not even written in here. That was a shameful thing. And Canaan came from incest. Look at this. And he said, Blessed be Yahweh Elohim of Sham. Blessed be Yahweh Elohim of Sham. Nach was angry. So this was the blessing of his father. And Quanan shall be his servant. Elohim shall enlarge Yapath. Look at this. This is the blessing of your father Nach. And he shall dwell in the tent of Sham. That's why they living in the tent of Sham today. And Quanan shall be his servant. So somebody did a switcheroo here. What is Yapath having the servants of Sham now? That's because Sham is not ruling in his land now. Yapath is ruling in the land now. So Canaan is his servants in the land now. Now, if Sham had servants, and they is no longer in their land and in rulership, then Yapath done took his place and dwell in his tent, dwell in his tabernacles, in his family estate, and shall be his servant. So now the Canaan is not serving because it got to fulfill the prophecy. He served Sham, he served us already. Now he's serving Yapath. And I'm finna prove it to you in the scripture, and I'm finna get up out of here. All right, so let's go to the Alayam. The Alayam, Psalms, chapter 83. Psalm 83. Finna get up out of here. I don't know, sister. I was asking y'all about that. I asked y'all, was the mama drunk too? I was asking y'all about that. Did he get the mother drunk and the children went in there and cover up the mama? Was it Nach that got drunk? Is because it said Nach. I'm just going by what they wrote. But I don't know, sister. That is another thing that we need to pray and ask y'all to give us discernment. But right here it say King James Version. This is the King James Bible. Elohim, keep quiet. A psalm of Asaph. Keep not thy silence, O Elohim. Hold not thy karash. Be not still, O Elohim. For lo, thine enemies make a harmona, and they that lift up their head, and they that hate thee have lifted up their head. They have lifted up their head. They have taken crafty. Who is the ones that hated Yasharal that was in the land now? Who is the one that hated them? Who was the one that always was fighting wars against them? For lo, thine enemies. Who was the enemies of Yasharal? For lo, thine enemies make a tumult. They make a harmona. They that hate thee have lifted up their head. They have taken crafty counsel against your people. Crafty counsel against your people. And consulted against your hidden ones. Let us go over here. I'm finna go to the Strongs here. They have consulted against your hidden ones. Look at here. Shayar. Mats Mawar. Melody. That's music. So do not keep silent. That word right there. My. See, such a quiet, rest, silence, pause, peace. So I made an error right there. Damai. Do not keep silent. So it means cessation, but I was correct in the translation. Quiet, rest, silence, pause, peacefulness. Don't be peaceful with this. Allahayim, don't just hold your quietness on this. Allah, not al, no, no, not, neither, nothing, as wish or preference, do not, let not, hold your peace, do not hold your peace, no hold peace, do not hold your peace, hold peace, no, don't hold your peace, don't hold your Tarash, Harash. Don't hold your Harash. Don't hold your peace. To cut and plow and grave, devise. To cut and grave, to plow, devise, to Nepal, to plow, to be silent, keep quiet, to make silent, to keep a secret, to keep this hidden, deep, show deepness, act like you can't see, deepness, to remain silent. Keep it going. Don't say nothing about it. Let it continue to be, right? Do not be still. Tashakwa, 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 tashakwa. To be quiet, tranquil, easy going with this, Alahayim. Be at shalom with this. Be still with this. Rest in this. Let this be the eternal rest. Be undisturbed, not letting it bother you. Oh, Alahayim. But it say right here, oh Allah. That's Ah and Lamad. Oh Allah. Oh Allah. Allah. Alahayim. Like one mighty one. All right. He said, don't be quiet with this Alahayim. Why did he say that? See? Hana. Behold. Hana. Hana. Behold. See, behold, look, Yah. If, behold, lo. Pay attention. See, perceive. How? Kaya. How? That for because, when, though as, because, that, but, then, certainly, your enemies, awabayaka, awabayawaka, but your enemies, awayabaka, your enemies, quam, enemies, qual, enemies, personal, national, your enemies, rage. He didn't say your friends, rage. The true inhabitants of the land, rage. To murmur, growl, roar, cry aloud, mourn. They had a conspiracy. How your foes, it say right here, wamash, naayaka, to hate, be hateful, hate for people, full of hate. What is hate? When you just take something and don't care about nothing, just take it, just snatch up the woman and do all that. Hater, one hating, enemy, participle, nifal, to hated, hater, principle of persons, nation. So your foes were hateful people, have reared the nasha'awa, to lift, bear up, carry, take, to lift up, to bear, carry, support, sustain, have reared their heads. They sustain their hatred, their heads, their authority, head, top, summit, upper part, chief, total, sum, height, beginning, head of man, They lift their head over another Adam as if they is their ruler. Look at this. With cunning, slickness, just like when they came and spoke to the people in the native of these areas. They came with a slick and smooth tone to be subtle, shrewd, be crafty. They was crafty with it. Be well. What did we see with the Nebuchadnezzar setup and all that right there? To be crafty, become shrewd. Counsel. So the iron and the clay one is going to be a crafty one. A crafty one. They all have their own, but they all work together with one common goal to get you up out of the land. They wanted Quanan to be their servants. And they wanted to put you up out of your inheritance and make you to be Quanan in all the Arats. They wanted you to take Quanan's lot and wanted them to sit in the seat. Look at here. Familiar conversation. So is this us that we do this? No. They conspired against us. They did this. Conspired against those you cherish, your family. Hide, treasure. They did this to us, Mashpaka. They hid us off from being a nation. Let me see. Call, email after we finish, brother. Great job. Yes, sir, I will. Let me see what you say. I'm going to share this with the group and hit the studio. Shalom. Okay, sister. Shalom, I'm on April Showers. So Quanan, he reared up his head against us. You know, when you was in school and somebody hit you and hitting you and hitting you and hitting you, and when you finally fight back, the teacher just throw you out the class to say, oh, you was the problem. You was the enemy. That's what this is. Quanan had his own land of inheritance. He had his own. All he had to do was go and stay there. Quanan had a place where he could go, but he wanted to come back and pretend like he was Yasharal. He wanted to come back and pretend like it, and we can't help that. That's something that happened centuries ago. And now we over here in the four corners of the earth without any authority, and now they saying that we colonized Mashpaka. You got to pay attention. We didn't colonize nothing. We was the one colonized. We was the one. If everybody say we colonized, how come the language of Quanan is still spoken today? How come everybody still know who they is except in a lot of our people? How come when we say who we is, everybody call it anti-Semitic? This is what is going on, Mashpaka. I got to go, Mashpaka. I'm finna go ahead and call Elder Berean and thank y'all family for coming and showing up. And I want to say, just keep one another in prayer and supplication. And pray deep prayers for your brothers and sisters, because we are being through the most and need to encourage one another. Shalom, Mashpaka. Blessings on you. Thank you for coming.